Good morning.
Good morning. It's day 3 of our trip. It's our last day, and we are just sort of walking around camp right now, drinking our coffee.
There's the camper in the background, the camp setup.
It's a nice site. Last night we heard around like 2 or 3 in the morning.
That was pretty incredible.
This enormous pack of coyotes. It was just, we have had coyotes in the forest, but I've only ever seen like one, never like a whole pack, and the sounds they were making were just like chilling in a way, but like also really cool. So yeah, it was like Wild Kingdom. It was really neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like a moment where you know you're in the, special place, I guess, and observing something in nature that most people don't get to do. Because it wasn't like just like coyotes. It was like a group of them, and they were communicating in a pretty interesting way, and it almost sounded like monkeys too. It was just really interesting tones and loud.
Yeah, and that lasted, I mean, a good 30 minutes. It would get close and then they would recede, and then when they would get closer again.
Yeah, we're walking to the facilities to get ready for our last day. I'm trying to decide where we want to go. I think Millstone.
Creek, Millstone.
Millstone
Okay.
Archaeological area is pretty nearby, so we're gonna check that out.
And then we'll have to pack up camp and get ready to go home and get back home to the kitties and the chickens and the fish and the plants.
Yep.
So we'll be checking with you guys throughout the day, just like we've been doing, and we're excited. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of our campsite. So it's a pretty long site, and since we're the only campers here, it feels like it's really big. But if I go over to the markers here, see, we're site 18, and so this would be another site. But the water tastes pretty good. Electric hookup is working, and then it would go all the way over to probably, that's weird, there's no marker to designate the boundary, but since there's a ring there, I'm going to assume this tree right here is sort of the boundary. But I mean, plenty of space for our pop-up, and then little campfire area, and then it goes very far back. This is a horse campground. So back here is where, if we had horses, they have, strings, and you would tack your horse there by the forest. But the forest is really lovely. It's very shady, which was so nice and cool. And like I said, we're the only ones. Only ones. It's amazing to have a campground to yourselves.
We are gonna go take a hike at the very end. So we're gonna take a hike, then we're gonna pop down the camper. And cute kitty, just being cute. Like always, you better have your cute kitties.
That's not
around.
our cat.
Yeah, it's not our cat.
So yeah, there's campground kitties, because this is a horse farm, and I suspect they're like barn kitties. And this little guy is so friendly, and he followed us back to the campsite last night.
Well, he followed me.
And he followed Liam, and then he spent all night under our camper. And I got so worried about him after the coyotes came through. Hi, buddy. Hi. I got so worried about him after the coyotes came through that Brian went out to check on him, and then he was just like, yep, I'm here, pet me. He is just a big old sweetheart, and he reminds us so much of our young kitten. Oh, well, he'll be a year old next month, but our young kitten, Charles.
Hello, we are at Millstone Archaeological site in Shawnee. We're gonna take you guys. There's a sign in the back of us. We're at the.
We're standing in front of it.
Yeah, we're at the entrance along one of the main roads through Shawnee, and yeah, we're gonna check it out, see what it looks like.
Should be fun.
We are here.
All right, we're at
Millstone.
Millstone Bluffs, and what did you say it was?
It's a 3/4 mile wood chipped trail. I googled it, so I know this, and it's a former site of the Mississippian, and I'm forgetting the other tribe name right now.
Woodland.
Woodland?
Woodland.
Okay, I said woodland. Thank you, Chloe. I'll link to, you know, the description that I read from a government website. But apparently it's just an old heritage site, and I'm excited to see that. I love learning about different cultures. Some of our favorite hikes have been to cultural heritage sites before, so let's go check it out.
Yeah! I remember in like, I forget, but it was like somewhere, oh yeah, it was in Arizona. And there was this castle. Yeah, it was a castle in a mountain, and it's really cool. Like so if you live in Arizona, I would really suggest checking it out.
And you think this reminds you of that, Liam?
Sort of.
It's called Montezuma National Monument in Arizona. Yeah. And then there was also Chuzagoot. We saw both Chuzagoot and Montezuma.
All right, we are walking into the forest here. Some nice.
And on here.
There's a little map. Looks like of the whole Shawnee area.
Oh, and here, this is what I just, when I googled it, this is what the language was. Yeah.
Yep.
So, home for both woodland and Mississippian Indians. Woodland Indians first lived here around 1,500 years ago, building a stone wall on the bluff top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They moved throughout the Shawnee Hills. Eventually, families began staying along the rivers year-round, growing corn, beans, and squash, and maintaining permanent homes. So this is the Mississippian period and occurred around 1,000 years ago. The houses on Millstone Bluff were built during this time. Wow. 500 years ago, Mississippian people left Millstone Bluff. Very, very cool.
So this is a pretty substantial and old
what a find
site here. This is pretty interesting. All right, looks like we go up for a little while. Very pretty woodland. Mossy rocks, boulders.
Native Americans did a lot.
Big trees.
Well, and it's a much easier hike than the hikes yesterday, you know, because it's a very wide gravel trail. Like, I feel like this might be good for small children. Don't know that you could push a stroller up here. You'd have to be pretty committed, but
off-road stroller. They make them. But it is a bit of an incline. It's like a bit of an exercise. Heart rate's starting to increase.
Well, this reminds me of the Laurel Falls Trail in the Smoky Mountains.
Oh yeah, that one's...
It's a really family-friendly trail too.
Mostly paved, I think.
Yep, mostly just like this. Lovely walk through the forest, bit of an incline, but it's not really too difficult.
Alright, now we're getting to some rocks and boulders. About a quarter of a mile maybe up a steep trail. And then you kind of see this stuff.
Wow. We're on this blue trail. We're about to see, like, if we go to the right, we would go through the cemetery. We could keep going straight and see some petroglyphs, or we could turn left and we'll see like the old village, it looks like.
Yeah, this is actually looks like a ancient town, and then this map sort of shows you the area. There's a stone wall, there's houses, public building, plazas, cemeteries. So it's wood chips up here. It looks like there's a little thing, a stone fort.
The stone wall must have been at least 6 feet thick and as many feet high.
That would have been helpful for now.
So
let's go.
Basically this is like a fortress on top of a mountain.
Yeah. Cemetery. They have like a little stair thing. If you look down, there's a note about the cemetery. The area in front of you is the Mississippi Cemetery.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow. It's been destroyed by looters.
Oh wow.
What was it destroyed by?
So we can't it looks pretty overgrown. We can't really tell.
People were buried in shallow, stone-lined graves, separated by family or a larger group of relatives. Each burial was treated differently depending on sex, age, and perhaps for special skills and achievement. Wow, that's sophisticated.
Yeah. Coming to a bit of a, I guess the end of the mulch, and then looks like there's a continues down a little bit trail, and then there's a one that goes up. I think we should try the up one.
Right, so if we go straight, I think it goes to petroglyphs, and then you have to trace your way back to go this way. I think this is the loop.
Yeah.
So do we want to go straight and then come back at it?
Yeah.
Mississippian petroglyphs. And then they have like a little look at it, and that's
the closest one I can see is there's like a curved line right here, very faded, but it definitely looks intentional, right? Like nature doesn't really do that. I doubt the camera is going to be able to pick that up.
probably not.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Do you see it? Right? See that single clump of moss? Well, it starts above this single clump right there. There's a curve, and then I think the wings go down. Like, I think it's the Thunderbird. So we've entered the village area, and this is a sign letting us know what we're about to see. And if you read all that, it says that we're looking for depressions, rectangular depressions. So yeah, if you look right here, it's hard to get on camera, but the terrain definitely dips down in a rectangle shape. So this all would have been a house. Oh, the community building.
They say it's probably the community center or like a modern meeting hall where leaders come to discuss
stuff.
Like there's trees that look pretty old, so I guess this was
1,000 years is a long time.
Yeah, like those trees would have been.
Our puny little human brains struggle to grapple.
100 years old.
Yeah. Large flat area.
Village plaza.
Center of community activity. This heavy use compacted the soil so few trees grow here today. Aha, okay. 20 house depressions indicate that 100 people lived here.
Wow, a town of 100.
So yeah, all of this is the plaza, and then like there's a depression, there's a depression.
And it kind of feels like a campsite almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like intentional landing.
Yeah. So these are all like mandrakes. They're all growing, but the trees, because so many people used it for so long. Okay, so this is a sign. We're coming to the end of it, but it's called Looking Back. It says, "You have been retracing footsteps hundreds of years old and have learned about the lifeways of an ancient culture. Their lives become real to us only after a careful study of the clues they left behind. Responsibility for protecting Millstone, Bluff, and other sites like it rests with those of us who visit these special places. A country with no regard for its past has little to remember in its future." Abraham Lincoln. Very true. So that was really interesting, I thought, and well worth it. We're going down the same gravel path that we walked up. I think I said earlier in the video you might be able to take a stroller. I'm not sure. You'd have to carry it up the stairs. But everything else is pretty stroller okay, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to push a stroller up. So if you want to do this with small children, you know, some sort of chest or back carrier would probably be best. But it was quick, what, like an hour total?
Yeah, something like that. Probably do it less than an hour.
Yeah, quick, easy, really useful, really good education, really cool, you know, to just be able to think about what it was at one point and learn about the first Americans. So we've just finished disassembling our camp and getting the pop-up trailer all hooked up, and we are saying goodbye to Bay Creek Ranch here near Simpson, Illinois in Shawnee National Forest. This campground was really nice. We were the only campers here, so it made it very safe for social distancing. We really enjoyed our campsite, thought it was nice and spacious, loved the forest. There's a little creek in there. The facilities were nice. I'll try to show you those a little bit. So these are the restrooms. I think they're pretty nice for a little campground. There's nice stalls and 2 showers, a little sink. And there's another shower. There's really friendly owners and then a lot of kitties, which were a hit with my kids. The orange cat that my son befriended is known as Bigfoot, and he does like to befriend families because they will feed him, which we did. He reminds us of our little kitty Charles, so we're excited to get home. So we've had a really good experience. We've loved sharing this with you guys. And thank you for tagging along with us here at Whole Family Homestead. We'll have more fun stuff coming up. This is just a test drive, so we'll be camping more this summer, and as always there'll be lots of gardening and cooking and other fun stuff coming up on the channel. Hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you so much for being with us. Bye-bye.